everyone. It's Lewis Bright Raven with the Raven Lewis Bright Raven channel. It is 5:30 p.m. on October 11th, Eastern Standard Time. It is time for another live draw session. We're going to have a little bit of a talk before we do the live draw. We're talking about sketch cards today. And what prompted this particular video was a post on a friend of mine, a fellow artist named Megan Hetrick on Facebook, was commenting about being contacted by a certain trading card, sketch card provider, producer, Upper Deck, who I've worked for in the past as well, and her reaction to the email she got and how she responded. So we're going to talk about that a little bit in just a second. Let's go ahead and look at that account. Now, Megan, this is from her Facebook account. I will never do sketch cards again for these companies. Base art, totally fine, but the sketch cards, it's damn near slave labor. I didn't get my break in with comics by doing these things, folks. I got my breaks, yes, plural, by being a smartass on Twitter, Vertigo, and doing the boob tutorial for DC. So yes, I will salt the earth when it comes to these things. To those of you who do them because you enjoy them, by all means, it's not a knock against you or your art. You all do you and I'll do me. I can't say as I blame Megan for these sentiments. She's spot on. When I worked for Upper Deck in 2007 and 2016 respectively, I did a total of 60 sketch cards and ultimately got paid $48.50 for my troubles after all the rejections that were tallied up, and I got 50 cents a card for more than half of my cards. Forget that crap. It's not worth it. And that, so anyway, this is the email she got. And it says, hello, Megan. My name is, and she blocked out the name, and I work for the Talent Relations Department for the Upper Deck Company, a leader in the trading card and memorabilia space. We recently discovered your work on your website and would love to discuss opportunities to commission you to do some sketches for Upper Deck. Now, here's part of the problem, folks. Part of the problem is she's already worked for Upper Deck quite a bit. And they should have records of this. Now, I'm going to be fair about this. There's a lot of turnover in talent relations. A lot of people don't necessarily know who all is with who and who worked with who and who didn't. So maybe this new talent director just wasn't informed and didn't know. And she thought, or they thought, I can't say it was a she or a he, they thought they were discovering someone new. So, okay, fine, I'm sure. But Megan had already explained this to them once they had the meeting, had the first response. Let's go back to the letter. Upper Deck works with a number of licensed properties and has the exclusive rights to Marvel's trading card products, among others. Upper Deck would like to discuss your interest in doing a limited number of sketches that would be inserted into our trading card packs and distributed to passionate collectors all over the world. For this project, we would have you draw 2.5 by 3.5-inch blank cards, which would be provided to you. If you have interest in hearing the terms of this offer, yada, yada, yada. Now, she contacted them back, and they basically gave the standard deal, which is $2 to $3 a card, which is ridiculously, it's slave labor is what it is. It's one thing if we're gonna do these things as warm-up sketches or something like that and sell them, and I'll explain that in a minute. And here's my kitty saying hello to everyone. I don't know if you heard him. He's feeling a little bit better than he was earlier today, which is good, but he still has to go to the vet tomorrow to get his teeth cleaned. So he's not going to be happy tonight. I can tell you that right now because, well, you don't get to eat after 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night, all night long. He gets all his treat taken away. He's not happy. So I'm going to have an interesting evening anyway. But let's go back to the letter. They gave a link to the Upper Deck website. Here is Megan's response. As I've said before, I'm sorry, but unless you pay more than a $2 to $3 a card that I was getting back when I actually did cards for Upper Deck, etc., I would rather spend my time doing covers and interior art for actual Marvel and DC books and be compensated far more fairly for them. Your pay doesn't even cover the cost of my supplies, and being compensated in artist proof cards with no guarantee of sale is a pretty blank, you can imagine the word she used, way to offset costs in the current economy. Thank you, M, meaning Megan. This was true even back 13 years ago when I was doing them, at $2 or $3 a card in 2007 for Marvel Masterpieces 3. And like I said, they didn't even use the cards. They canceled them at the last second and only paid me 50 cents a card for I think it was like 50 out of the 60 cards or something like that. No, it's not. It was $17.50 for 35 of the cards is what they paid me for the first set. And then the second set in 2016, I got paid more compensated. But like I said, I didn't make any money for them. So she's got a point here. But you don't need to work for these companies to do sketch cards. You can make your own cards, which is exactly what I did once I got screwed over by Upper Deck the first time. You can do, I guess you could call them El Cheapo cards, but they're not cheap. I mean, they're still, you're still spending supplies and stuff, but you do them on 110-pound cardstock, and you charge a little bit of money for them for the kids. You do quick, like morning doodle sketches or whatever, warm-up sketches on those for the kids, and that's one way of doing it. Or you can do higher-end cards by going to an official printer and getting your own card, brand a card made and draw whatever you feel like on those cards and sell them at whatever price point you want. Like I said, I've been doing that since 2007. And I've made my fair share of income on it. I'm not going to toss numbers around because, frankly, it sounds like a braggart thing. I mean, I've had good years, I've had bad years. A lot of it has to do with whether or not you're in the convention circuit and your stuff is being seen by people, or whether you're having good eBay sales or something like that. But anyway, these particular cards that you see on the screen were sold at $10 a card on the El Cheapo cardstock, which it's really not El Cheapo cardstock, but you go to Walmart, you can get it. It's Georgia Pacific brand cardstock paper, premium cardstock. Sorry about the crinkling, but it's this right here. That's all it is. 110 pound, 92 whiteness, 150 sheets. You put them in your printer. Just you set up a template on it, and there you go. Okay, and I've done that since 2007. Let's get back to the images. I've also sold cards on that stock, on that paper for as high as $30 a card. I've also done cards on popper cut print card, regular cards like what you would get from Upper Deck or other companies, but you get them from the printer and you get your own quality of standard of what kind of cards you want that way as well. And I've sold those for as high as $100 a card. And the best part is you can draw whatever you want on them. There's no ticky-tacky restrictions placed upon you by whoever the licensor is or whoever you're working for. There's no licensor or editor telling you what you can't do, telling you, oh, that's good. Oh, never mind, your stuff sucks. All that stuff is gone. All you're doing is dealing directly with customers. Now, this is an example of a printed sketch card that I've got up there. It's got the front, which is a white base stock. And it's got original colored art or pen and ink art on there from Gary Shipman, his character Titan from his series called Titan, about the kind of a bat mouse type character. And he did it on the stock of his Packins Land cardstock. And this is the actual card in question. I'm going to try and get it out of the sleeve here. Pretty good, solid thickness to it. I don't know if you can tell or not. Let's take it to a comparison of that stock is very, very thin for the 100 pound. And I think you can tell it's quite a bit thicker, almost double the thickness for that kind of cardstock. Okay, so you can do that. And Gary also did an even thicker trading cards with his most recent crowdfunding for Titan, and these are even thicker. It's like 2 or 3 cards stacked in, built in together, and that's what the card looks like. And then on the back, and these are not actual sketches per se; these are printed on each side, with from what I can tell. But that's pretty darn cool. And you could easily get a card like that made and drawn it. I apologize for the camera angle. I'm trying to get this set up because I've got it at a way so that I can move the camera down to where we're going to be drawing in a little bit. So we got kind of stuff like that. Let me see if I can. Because the main problem is I keep wanting to look at the monitor instead of the camera. I apologize. But and here's another do-it-yourself card example. This is from my friend Clay Patterson here in Columbia, South Carolina, where I live. He took one of the templates I sent to him in the email, and he retooled it and made a set of 12 cards for our Rise of Skywalker event from December of last year. And all these were digitally drawn and colored. I think, looks pretty sharp stuff there, He was selling those at the Rise of Skywalker event when that came out. And his other set of 6 is these. So he did 6 villains and 6 heroes. And I don't know why he changed the template the way he did, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But this is the template I gave him a copy of. It's like 9 copies, and you see what he did. He took the little strip at the bottom and made it more like a wallpaper parchment instead of that ribbon type thing. And this is just my easy stuff. I don't have my high-end grade stuff right now, but I was looking for them, but I don't know where I got them stashed right now. But let's keep looking more here. And you don't have to draw any brand characters to get other people's interests as well. As you can see, you can do dragons, Cyclops. I got a bat type character there. I've done zombies, ghosts, wizards, elves, robots, all kinds of stuff. So it's not like you need to do that, and I've done very well selling that stuff. In fact, some of the generics, as I call them, because they're more open source characters and not branded specific title to specific companies, have been just as successful, if not more so, than the branded stuff. Branded stuff, if I go to a Star Wars show or something, okay, I'm going to take my Star Wars stuff. But like a comic shop or something like that, I can do any number of things, And the other thing is, when you do live events, you can just take these blanks like these and draw them live and do as many cards as you can for whatever price you want to charge for them. As long as people want to pay them, just do them. So there's that as well. So let's see what comments are being made. If I can get the mouse to go where it's supposed to. John said he couldn't stay long, but he wanted to come by in for a few minutes. Well, thanks, John. I hope you are doing well. So let's go ahead and get to drawing. Let's get this camera set down here. Gotta check something real quick here. All right. There we go. Hopefully I can get the right angle. Now, I'm going to draw on an actual blank for a change. I know a lot of people kind of get mad that I have I do a lot of preliminary drawings and don't draw them straight up. Let me see what I can do here. Because that's kind of blocking the things, and I'm trying to get it back just enough. That okay, all right. If you wonder what I'm doing to put my drawing glove on, that's to help block um, smearing on the artwork more than anything else. Start with a blue line pencil. I'm going to start with a robot today. And for those who might be watching on Facebook, I don't know. A lot of times Facebook comments don't show up. But if you're watching, or John, if you're still watching, you can make a recommendation or suggestion rather of what you want to see me draw. That's fine. I'm only going to do 2 or 3 cards though. Hopefully we'll get this. I only got about an hour and 10 minutes to go, so. And the main reason I'm doing it until 7 is partly because I got to cook dinner, and partly because Aaron Lepresti, our good friend Aaron, has AaronCon starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific on his channel, and I didn't want to overlap on things like that too much. So, and we will do a RavenCon type thing like that, where I'm on for a few hours, probably starting after Booktober's done. So I'll be doing something like what Aaron does in November. Probably try to do it for a whole weekend, for 3 or 4 days in a row. We'll see. One thing at a time. And hopefully by then the t-shirts and other stuff will be ready so you can buy them online as well from me. That's the plan anyway. Let's see, a very rudimentary there, but gotta start somewhere. Now, part of the reason I brought this up is because a lot of people are, from what I saw on Megan's Facebook, are kind of knocking the whole notion of doing sketch cards and making money off of them. And the reality is, yes, just like in everything else, the corporations don't pay us what we're worth um, for the time we're investing. But again, you can make your own designs. You can print up multiple copies of the same designs. Those cards that I showed you that Clay did, those were not one-offs. Those were a set of 12, and he printed them out, multiples of each one. So I don't know if I can't remember if he sold them as singles or if he sold them as a set anymore. It's too far back. I'd have to ask him. But it was pretty cool thing he did. I did. Uh, I was also at that event, and I did prints instead of cards. But I had cards that were, uh, you know, original one-offs. But as far as printing stuff, I do prints. I just don't want people to think that you can't um, do sketch cards and make a living at it. You can. You just gotta be more. I don't know. Aggressive isn't the right word. Do it yourself type stuff. More so than worrying about appeasing corporations. Because the truth is, um, a lot of artists would go to who are official, quote unquote, official artists for these companies would show up at conventions and they're trying to sell their AP cards, their artist proof cards, at $50 to $100 a card. And here comes the 4C dad who just has 3 or 4 kids with him, and he's already spent a bunch of money just to get in the door at the show. And these kids all want something unique, and they all want something for each person. Well, first off, we don't usually have that many artist proof cards, and secondly, most divorcees don't have that kind of money to spend on their kid. Whereas $50 to $100 a card, and I saw that after I did those Marvel masterpieces for Upper Deck and didn't get paid in '07, and there was one guy who was I guess a big deal, supposedly, or he thought he was, for doing the cards. And I was just like, he's selling them for $50 to $75 a card, and he had like 10 or 15 AP cards available for purchase. And I can remember this little 10-year-old kid was just bawling his eyes out because his dad couldn't afford that, and frankly, it was really just wasn't worth that kind of money anyway. And he was just throwing a temper tantrum, and I was like, "What's the problem?" And he's like, "Well, I can get this card over here." And I'm like, "Well, I can do that. I can make a different one that's even better for cheaper." And I went over and saw what the card was, and tried hard not to bust a gut laughing, to be honest. And then came back over to my table and drew it live in front of the kid. And I did it for, I mean, this guy was charging 75 for his card, and I was going to just do it for like 10 for mine. And of course, the kid was fascinated because I was drawing the card live in front of him to begin with. But that kind of gave the dad something, well, he's occupied. I can go shop or something, for something else. And so the kid's watching me draw, and when a parent gets back, he's like, "How much was that?" It's 10. I goes, and he hands me a 20. And I, well, you don't have a any more change? He goes, "No, you keep the change because you're still a third of the cost. It's still a third of what I'm going to pay for that other silly card." And the kid's happier. And, I mean, the kid was so happy he went over there and showed the guy that was supposed to be the hot shot. I got a card. It's better than yours is, type thing. It was hilarious, but that's kind of how I realized that getting a sketch card deal with a company really wasn't the end all be all of being successful with that particular type of market. And this is kind of true about our entertainment industry and comics as well. I mean, I think we're all seeing it in recent months with the crowdfunding explosion. A lot of people who are ex Marvel, ex DC, who are disgruntled because, well, either the creators got phased out due to ageism or cronyism or whatever isms, or there's downsizing going on and people are just getting cut due to that. What do we do to make a living? And well, we crowdfunder books then or something, type thing, and that's fine. But the reason we're in that situation is because too many of us have spent our careers trying to appease these corporate masters as opposed to building our own brands. And now everybody's trying to build a brand in a market that is very difficult to do in the middle of a pandemic. It's hard enough doing it in normal cases. I've seen a lot of very successful um, freelance creators coming to the crowdfunding scene and they're not getting anywhere. And it's not because their work isn't any good. It's just crowdfunding is more than just having the artistic talent. We've got marketing. We've got other aspects to it that many of us just don't really know that much about yet. We're learning, and you don't need to knock the table, Kitty. I'm sure you heard him cry. If you didn't, he's just wanting attention. It's about that time of day. He thinks it's dinner time because it's getting dark out. And you can't see him, but he's now on top of my back. So if I'm a little bit slow, that's why. I guess he decided he's like, well, if you're going to work, I guess I have to inspect. Here I am saying you don't have to have masters looking over your shoulder and telling you how to do your job. It's not quite true. You want to say hello to people, Kitty? You do? Well, then say hello to everybody. You want to say hello? You going to say hello? You want to say hello? No. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of you. Hello. He wants to take over the show. Typical cat, right? You want to stay there? Watch me? Okay. You just stay. You just lay there and watch. Like I said, I think he's in a weird mood today because he wasn't feeling well earlier today at all. Well, you don't need to get on the table. I know you want attention. Here, sit down. Come on. Mm. Get a little bit more close up in there. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I haven't drawn a face yet because I haven't figured out what I'm doing. Basically, yeah, that's the main reason. I'm working on the other parts of it while I'm thinking about in my head what's the face going to look like. No, I don't want that. Whoops, sorry about that. Didn't want the table. I'm going to use a template here, rapid design. A lot of these are done for architectural stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one of the templates to shape out the eyes. Make them look a little bit evil if I can. Does that look like an evil-eyed robot to you? No. So, I'm going to use this template for a mouth as well. Come on. shame I can't play Mr. Roboto or something down here. Okay, John says he's got to go. Talk to you later. Okay, John, have a good one. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Working on extra thin lead that's snapped off. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm trying to draw the mouth screen. So I have to draw too much teeth or anything like that in there. Okay. And then you have pencils for that. I don't know if you can see it very well. I'm trying to get a good clean. There you go. That's a much cleaner detail. Okay. Now we're getting into trying to find the right size pen. There we go. I'm thinking with a 0.1 micron at the moment. There's a lot of different pens to use. It's not like there's a pen that will save your bacon. If you just ink with it, it'll be perfect. No, doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I don't think there's an artist in the world who wouldn't want that kind of an ink tool. I'm going to probably ink a lot faster than I do with the pencil. I wonder what I'm doing with the dots here. I'm putting a little bit of a rustic thing on here to make it look like he's a little bit older model. I imagine that John had to go for the dress rehearsal for his play. I can't remember if he's doing the music direction and just the music direction, or if he's actually performing it. I think he's actually performing a role in this one, if I remember correctly. But that's kind of his pride and joy thing now to do. And we certainly wish him well on that. I don't know if Mark Andrew Smith's out there or not. Doesn't look like it. But I'm reminding you again, Mark, make sure you get all your Kickstarter surveys out to your customers. Since you told me to nag, I'll nag. I've officially done my nagging. I'm pretty sure Mark got it done. He said he only got a few left earlier today. I'm probably just going to leave this a black and white one and not do color so I can get another card done before 7. I think someone wants to know what inspired this particular design. Nothing really. Um, it's just a robot. Um, as I'm working along it, you might see some of the designs where it looks like I'm doing something related to automobiles or trucks or something like that. You know, um, I don't know. I just kind of wing it when I'm doing these for fun, in a way. But for example, I don't know if you can see on the. Let's see if this thing will. Come on. It doesn't want. There we go. if you can see the details on the quote unquote ears, those are like little lights that you might see on the top of a truck, like a semi truck or something like that. Yeah. So this piece will actually get posted up as a completed piece later on Facebook as well. So you can see the final results a little bit better than with this silly camera. Uh, Hold on a second. Someone's asked a question that's actually worth putting up on the screen. I just have to type it up because it's not from uh, YouTube. So let me do that real quick. And the question is, do you think that popular artists do these sketch cards at those low prices? No. If you get a big name artist like an Arthur Adams or Adam Hughes or something like that, those guys are getting paid a substantial amount, but they're doing like 5, maybe 10 cards at the most. They're not doing 40, 50, 60 cards because these companies can't afford that kind of investment um, in that regard. But yeah, if they want to pay, a couple $100 a card, or even major ones, like they might do 5 cards that way for some of those guys. But those are not the norm by any means. But that's a good question. There was the question. Sorry about that. Thought it went up. So yeah, do you think the popular artists do these sketch cards at the low prices? No, most of them do not. A lot of people, most artists are very much of the same mindset that Megan is. It's like slave labor, and it's fine if you're just starting out in the business and it's a credit and it's a learning experience for your craftsmanship and how to be a professional and a lot of other things. There is a benefit to it, but you're not going to make a career out of doing that. Okay, if you want to make um, a substantial side income, then like I said, doing printing your own and doing it that way is more the uh, the answer in my opinion. And that was from Steve Markham. I should have credited Steve on that. So thank you, Steve, for the question. We're almost done with this little guy. Someone asked where the music was. Yeah, usually I do have music playing in the background for live draw. Today I didn't because we were setting up the discussion on the sketch card topic. And I figured some people who came in late or were trying to watch it or something would possibly ask questions more so about it. So I figured I better just leave the music off today. We got about 20 minutes to a half hour left. So let's just zip through his eyes. Okay, there's a little robot buddy. Kind of a truck grill for abs. Like I said, kind of an automobile truck type thing, semi truck. I don't know, but I called him, if this thing will show up, Mac 2 Ruck. So this one will be done, and I'm looking for the little sleeve for it. I don't see it. That's kind of weird. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that's one done. But let's go ahead and get one that's partially uh, in blue line. No, nope. I'll show it again later at the end of the show. Let's see what we got here that you guys might like. That's relatively quick and easy to do. You'll have to excuse me. I'm just zipping through some stuff here. Interesting. I'm trying to think here. I got other cards besides those that are. I got a whole stack of them. Like I said, I get these all set up, dozens of them at a time. Just a matter of finding the right ones to do. Um, um, well, here's a couple. Here's a simple one, jack o' lantern. Let's do no, no. Hmm. Okay, let's do a jack o' lantern. It'll be a little bit cartoony, but it's appropriate for this time of year. And this would be a good example of what you could do with making a print template that would allow you to make the same base but do a different card every time at the same time. And normally every year I used to give these cards away. I've been doing it since 2007. I would do like 200 or 300 cards, 350 cards to give away to the kids for trick or treating. And that's a lot of work. In fact, Aaron McCrusty was saying that last night to me. As I mentioned, I was not doing that this year. And the reason I'm not doing it this year is because the parents are like, "We don't care if you do it or not. It's nothing. It's like we don't care. Well, if you don't care, I'm not going to spend the time to do it." But yeah, you don't appreciate the effort and time. So, but anyway, yeah, this is a relatively simple pattern type thing you can do, and you could do the same face but draw different faces and ultimately have a different one every time. So let's go ahead and come up with something here. I'm trying too hard to keep those lines in there. Let's try something else. There we go. I like that better. Yeah, that looks better. Just get that. Okay. Well, this one I probably will color, just to make a point of it. since this is going to be in color. Again, we don't need to, be fancy. Particularly, these are quick. Putting a very light yellow orange pencil as a base. This is a rose art pencil. You can use Prismacolor pencils. You can use whatever kind of color pencil you think works for you. Watercolor pencil is fine too. This is just an under base. Now, I know some people would like to have seen some more recognizable characters, and I'll probably do some more live draws with sketch cards as a theme. I might even invite some of my friends who have been on the show who do artwork to come do some with me. So we'll all draw them up at the same time. Maybe we'll have Mick Kev ready to do some Pink Lemonade, or maybe we'll have Jeremy Massey, or maybe I can even get Aaron to do one. I don't know if he would do it or not. Just don't. Again, you don't have to do the same kind of stuff that you do, the same level of grade quality that you're doing a full blown commission. That's not necessary to get the point across. Monster over here wants to beat some of attention. I'm going to pull some markers up. He's got his attention. That's part of the problem. He's like, "What you doing? Come on, it's 07, man. You gotta hurry up. I gotta get fed. Because I'm a kitty. You gotta feed me." Don't like that one. Let's go with light orange. This is YR2 from Copic. I think that'll work. Yeah, that's what I want. Now, why am I going over the marker over a color pencil base? Part of the reason I'm doing that is that the markers will have a different sheen on them, and so they don't necessarily bleed through the back of the paper because the wax of the color pencil will block it. As you can see, you don't see the coloring, nice sharp coloring. You don't see it bleed through. That's why you do it, okay? Now again, I'm not doing a fancy one. This would probably be one of the ones I would give away at free during a convention or give away during for Halloween. But it's also something that, like I said, if you did like a print set, like what Clay had with the template, you could do literally, just dozens and dozens of it without any problem, and give them away as Halloween gifts, or you could have them for an event. In fact, I might just do that. Use these templates to make the variety of pumpkins for Halloween. Even though I'm not giving them out locally in my neighborhood, um, tentatively I am scheduled to make a store appearance on Halloween, so we'll see. And there's that. You can see a little bit of bleed through. I didn't put enough um, colored pencil on there to block it all through, but it's pretty safe, so it doesn't bleed through that weaker 110-pound cardstock. Now, I want to get my colored pencils. Just got to turn the chair around. It's right behind me. Try to get the pencil out one out. Those are all rocks. Here. Come here. Take a little pencil. All right. I think the pencils are what's behaving the cat today. Surprised that that's behaving as well as it is. Okay. We got 4 colored pencils here. We have celery for the green stem, and we have yellow, cream, and pale flesh for the interior of the lit up jack-o'-lantern. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen these a little bit, real quick. I've got a Barrel Giant Apple sharpener that I've had for about, I don't know, 40 years. Had it since I was a little kid. Something my dad brought home from work in the military, in the office. Yeah, okay. I might put a little bit of green in there on this as well. Because a lot of pumpkins have a little bit of a green tinge to their outer. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there a little bit. Again, this is the color of celery, so of course, when I'm shaking the table, the plastics are rattling in their little container. And this green also kind of gives you a little over the orange in this case. Kind of gives I'm trying to think of the word, complementary value to yellows and of what we're going to see inside from the candlelight, keeping it keeping the thing wet. Okay, that's good. I think I'm pretty good on what to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the cream. We got 15 minutes left for max here, so let me try and get this colored in really, really quick here for you. And then we can get and finish it up. Yes, I'm actually doing the colors and then the inks. It's just kind of how I roll on this one. I don't do that in every one I do in color. Okay. So not really doing what I want to do. That's okay. Let's go ahead and take a marker. This is a polo yellow. See if we can get that. That's better. All right. Now for the yellow. That's the reason why I'm doing this in color pencil, is I can go back in and erase certain things I don't want. And then go back in. I'm just doing a quick Quoth marker base this for something that the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern is sitting on. Again, no bleed on the back. Be careful with it. Using two different shades of brown to kind of show a wooden deck effect. And I'd probably throw a little bit of cream on that too. Lighten it up just a tad. And there we go with that. And now we can go ahead and go into the next. Let's go a little bit heavier than normal. Let's go an 8. for the outer. Okay. A little bit thinner line now for the interior edges. My free alarm clock is ringing, saying, "Hey, it's dinner time. Feed me." But we just have to wait. You know? Don't bump the table, kitty. No. Are you trying to entertain everybody? I want to be part of the show. You never give me enough attention when you're on the TV. Just true, I don't give enough attention. I'm very, very jealous when I'm podcasting. Part of it is depends a little bit older and wearing out, and part of it is the wax from the color pencil that's blocking the ink. But if you are careful enough, you can get the effect that you want. Okay, now it's been on my work. Hold on a second. There we go. There we go. I might switch to a different pen real quick. See if it makes a difference. I found the right one. That's one thing that does bother me. I can't find the right pen. That's a I know I had a one here. Where's my one? Ah, there it is. No, it's not two. That's weird. Ah, there it is. That's the one. That's the one. There we go. Now I'm going to brush your pen. Touch up some of that celery. Piece of green. Okay. And there you have it. So that is our show. It's 7 o'clock. I gotta get going to cook our dinner for the evening. But I want to thank those who did come watch for the episode. We'll come back and do more sketch cards another live draw later. You might be wondering why I took my glasses off. The glasses are for the computer reading, not visual up close like that. So anyway, um, let's see what we got going on here before we head out. Okay, so before we can reach me on Facebook at lewis.brightraven, deviantart.com/brightraven. Quote the Raven, Lewis by Raven on YouTube. Quote the Raven, lbr72@gmail.com, and lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. The regular podcast starts um, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I want to thank you all for watching, and try to, like I said, trying to do it so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, you trying to look at that and look at the screen. It's not easy to do. So I apologize for that. But I will see you guys tomorrow, sometime tomorrow for Booktober Day 12. I'm not sure exactly when because my cat has a doctor's appointment. So as he's taken care of, I guess, and I get him home, I'll be setting up and we'll do the show sometime tomorrow. Okay. So until then, have a good weekend, have a good evening, and we'll see you next time.